Here's the thing. It's pretty clear that it's not a stretch to say that the movie was fire. Or should I say... So I initially wanted to use the Fantastic Four figures, the Marvel Legends MCU ones, for this video, but the pre-order said it would arrive in August. So I figured, okay, I might as well, settle for the comic ones, the retro card or the other ones from Marvel Legends, but it's really bad. I even made a poll for it, and I gotta say, it's not fantastic at all. So I kind of made a not very financially responsible decision of me. And then out of nowhere, they just released all the figures. Everyone started getting them. Out of nowhere. The Thunderbolts figures aren't even out yet. But those were first? I mean, I guess it makes sense to build up hype for the movie. But still, I wish they could have been clear about that before I bought this from Mezco. This is not cheap at all. It's a really good set, I'm not gonna lie. It has basically everything, but this is not cheap. You know what? Let's start it off with someone way smarter than me, Mr. Okay, looking at the MVP animation for Mr. Fantastic, we already stumble into the first problem. It's already easy enough to decide which body to use since, of course, the beard face to use because the other ones don't have a beard. Although this is cool that he's smiling, this one, it's cool that he's smiling, but the beard one is, it's the closest to the Marvel Rivals version, so of course I'm using this one. But we already run into problema numero uno. Tank Reed. Like, the stretchy parts that Reed has are thin, not bulky at all. So this is gonna be a problem. Like, this is the perfect stretchy body for what he's going to do, but it's the bulky one, and it's gonna be on screen for a good minute or two. It's like very much highlighted, so that's gonna be a problem. Like, yeah. But yeah, there's actually no other way around this. Because, yeah, simply put, I can't do anything about this problem. Since, I could just use the regular body itself. Okay, let's see this. He doesn't have fists either for the big hand, so that sucks too. So we're just gonna settle with that anyways. See, I mean, I guess it could work if we really wanted to. And then I'm gonna put the big hand here. Then let's put the long feet. It's supposed to take off, right? Okay. Long feet here, but he has regular feet too. But we don't have the bulky one, and we need the bulky one. You know what? It's fine. I guess we'll just settle with the thin body, even though it's not exactly accurate. But it does deliver the effect better. So we're gonna just, settle with this. So yeah. Okay, so it's basically up here, smash, camera cut, which is great. Well, not much of a cut, it's just a really quick camera move. Smash. The ground is on a slant, so I have to figure it out. Then front flip, legs really stretched out, which is fine. Then smash again. Then there's a clever little disappear here, which works for me. Then we'll stretchy stretch. Jump like. This is easy enough, except that he doesn't have a like hand, but I'm gonna figure something out, I guess. For this part though, since you can't exactly detach the arms, unlike the Legends can, I'm just gonna put it off screen, then just make it pop out the other way, so it can do the effect. This is a difficult one to start with, but you know what? Let's begin. I'm gonna be honest here, I'm kinda disappointed that I can't do Tank Reed. For this animation, I can't make him be bulky. Editing it to make it look like tanky won't work either, because the proportions and warping the thing will really warp the background as well, making it more noticeable than before. So I have to like settle with long body that Mezco provided. And things were going pretty fantastic, but around the part where I flip up is where I ran into problems, to say the least. First of all, it didn't look right, and the slant, I kinda fucked it up. So I had to repeat it a couple of times, no biggie. I had to like pull out every phone stand in my arsenal. But then this happened. I broke it. I was just swapping out the feet, you know, as you do with this part, you know, bendy to non-bendy, and it just broke. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, what the hell? This is what it's supposed to do. Why did it break? I could get a replacement from Mezco since it just arrived. But still. What the hell, man? It just broke off. I guess I'll have to do with Sticky Tack. We have to keep going. So... damn it. Whatever, man. Alright. This was a not so fantastic start. Because, that happened too. I forgot to hit record on the time lapse. That's fun. This broke, and I forgot to hit record on the time lapse. I mean, I did it. I did well, but I wish I could have recorded it. Just fantastic, I guess. Ah, man. There's only one thing that can cheer me up. I mean, you must have gotten the joke. After that shit show, we're gonna go with The Thing, because his MVP animation seems much easier, much simpler. Oh, hop, knuckle crack. That's not fucking knuckle. I'm losing my mind, man. Neck, look. I'm gonna fucking punch you. Face, smiley face, then punch. That's pretty much it. What will complicate it for me later is the effects, because that's a lot. That's just a lot. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. The problem too is this guy has very limited articulation. Fun fact, you can't just twist this willy-nilly. No, you have to include this or it will just snap off. So you have to be insanely careful. Or you have to find a way to make them go together or like loosen it up somehow. But I don't think I'll need it right now. But yeah, this thing looks dope. It's very detailed. The downside is the articulation, but yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. On to the time lapse. Ben is the easiest one to animate out of the four, as you'll see later. He kind of just hops around, rolls his neck, pops his neck, or whatever, and then just punches to the screen. It's pretty easy. It would have been easier if he had actual butterfly articulation. That part where it looks like butterfly articulation, no, it barely is. It's a glorified shoulder joint. So that kind of sucked. It's especially for where he like raises his arms to pop whatever his neck. And yeah, this was still refreshing though, since things have been grim for Mr. Fantastic after breaking his leg. I'm still pissed about that, because it's how it's supposed to work, man. Anyways, other than that, the real challenge is the final frame, which I'll explain now. Alright, I'm done with the thing. Anyways, it was pretty difficult, to say the least. Like, the movement itself was easy, but I did have to repeat it once since, it didn't look good at first, and I pretty much got the flow, except for the final frame. It's pretty much the same as Spider-Man in the previous video, where his camera effect is 0.5, if you know what I mean, for iPhone users. So it's a different lens or something, and it's making it difficult to produce the exact same final frame, which is pretty much the essential part of this entire thing. And at first, I tried to do it without the 0.5, exactly like Spider-Man, but I didn't get to do it. It didn't look as good, especially since he has awkward range of articulation. I don't know how to get that, look. So I tried it with 0.5, and I don't know yet. The amount of effects on this thing might save the bad photo editing I might do. So yeah, I'm so tired, man. I've been doing this for like about 5 hours now. I just want to disappear. I'm cooked. No, seriously. Invisible Woman might be the most complicated out of the four, because first off, what the fuck? I don't know how to do that practically. The camera shakes I can manage, but the disappear thing, the ult being in the MVP animation, sucks. Like, I do have the effects pieces needed for the blasts, like right here. I do have the effects pieces necessary. I can manage with these, but the rest, I'm screwed. Seriously. Oh, whoops. Because like, the rest of the MVP animation is fine. It's just her walking out. Like, I can do just her appearing. That's pretty simple. She appears, blasts the camera, then she'll suck you off, and then the final frame. The rest is simple. I can do the effects here and stuff, but the beginning part is complicated as fuck, bro. This is gonna be very complicated. I'm just gonna try and figure something out. I'm gonna do the base animations first. Alright, so I think I figured something out. I could use this plastic thing that's used to cover for books and stuff, and make a circle, just basically a giant circle, and put it here. I'd like to, as much as possible, avoid using green screen or any amount of editing that's just too much, especially for this, where the camera moves a lot, which is gonna be super complicated. So I figured I'll make a cylinder with this, just stick it here, and it should do the trick, because I don't really need to do the exact hue of blue. I just need the distortion. So that's my plan as of now. I think it should work. I'm just gonna tape it up or something. I think this should work, but from this point on, I'm pretty much just winging it. Let's do this. It was pretty clear from what I said that to me, Sue was the second hardest to animate, since her disappear, like, ult is behind her and she appears from it. That is pretty easy. I kind of just pop her out of it. But the ult itself, I did have to use a plastic cover thing. I did want to use like a sturdier film type plastic, like almost paper like. I don't know what it's called, but I couldn't find any at the time of recording, and I kind of just settled with this since it delivers the effect. I know I can't overlay the texture onto it since that's more work, unnecessary work, where the focus is the movement and some of the effects. So I kind of just figured, hey, it just appears and then disappears, fades out. So I don't really have to put too much like unnecessary effort into it, and that would have been a waste of my time realistically. So I figured, hey, a plastic film, it gives the distortion, it's good enough. Alright, Sue is done. It was difficult, which is an understatement. It was really fucking hard, but it's pretty fun. The camera effects did throw me off. I probably just should done that through editing, but whatever, I'm done. And it looks pretty nice. Actually, it looks pretty fantastic. I did try some stuff. I might need to edit her eyes since with the angle that she's looking, I might, how it's printed, it's not really gonna work. I might have to digitally move her eyes. So yeah. Other than that, it was pretty smooth. Not the animations, probably gonna be shitty. Well, in my standards at least. But yeah, I think I did pretty well. I don't know if my invisible barrier thing sold the effect, but it's good enough. It's better than actually having to manually animate everything. I mean, edit everything, which I don't have the skill for. What I will have a difficulty with is the effects. She has a lot of effects. I might have to animate that by hand, which is, yeah, not looking forward to it, but whatever. What I do know that this is gonna be fun. Okay, so this is not as hard, but harder than Invisible Woman, because the fire effects, bro, it's everywhere in this animation. But in some parts, you don't really have to see him. It's mostly effects, so maybe I can get away with not animating him as much. See, I can just animate him here. So basically, he's animated, he's gone, maybe seen for 2 or 3 frames. Maybe it could just be a still image, actually. And then he appears here. Zoom in, spin. Yeah, the only very animated part is the spin, but I can manage. This is gonna be hard since it's definitely a huge component of his MVP animation, so I will have to figure out a way to do that. Anywho, this is definitely a good suit for it since he's not in his fully flame on mode. You can still see the suit, so I can get away with this. I just have to swap the head for this flame on head that can actually, if you do this, light up, which is pretty cool. It would definitely work well for this animation. Like, this is awesome. And it's battery powered too, so you can swap. You can still keep this on for a while. So yeah, I think I'll just compile images of the flame effects that I have in my disposal, and just basically just copy paste, like just fucking smush them all into like one. Like, do this. See, it's pretty decent looking. Just paste, like, smush them like clay into one to create the force. It's still as practical as possible. I will have to recreate the camera movement though, so there's that. Anyways, on to Josh. My biggest enemy for this animation is definitely the fire, but the movement itself is really easy to do since he kind of disappears for like 80% of the animation. Like, he flies by, he disappears, then he kind of just does a spin move and flies into the camera, which was fine, except his fire was facing the wrong way, so I kind of had to take care of that in editing. Alright, I'm done. That was pretty fire. Yeah, it was easier than I initially expected. I actually thought that it would take me hours to do this, like 5 hours at the very least. But after figuring out that I can just use these effects later for the the 4 and the flame effects, I can just paste this on, like Photoshop it everywhere. I was pretty much smooth sailing. Alright, all I have to do is make sure that it's synced up with the original. Then I'll move on to the effects and editing, which I'm not really looking forward to, but oh well. But unfortunately, I stumbled into a little problem with Johnny's animation that I've already mentioned previously, is that Johnny's animation has a lot of effects which are mainly fire. So how exactly am I gonna do that? I do have one idea, which is the stupidest idea I probably ever had. I'm gonna put multiple of these effects, fire effects from Mezco Johnny Storm onto my light and basically line them up, and I'm gonna snap a picture of them, and that's gonna be my lines. That's gonna be my flame effects. So it will technically be all toy, you know? I think it would be cooler that way instead of, manually drawing them frame per frame. I'm not gonna do that shit, bro. That's way too much work. Speaking of way too much work, past me clearly underestimated how much work would actually go in to making the flame effects. Like, oh yeah, it seems simple enough. Create the overlay the flames thing onto the animation and it'd be easy peasy. Nope. First of all, it didn't work on the iPad or the mobile app, so I had to pull it up on my computer and have to painstakingly frame by frame overlay everything. It almost didn't work as well because my Pro subscription, which I have yearly, was glitching out and won't let me do the things I needed to do, so I had to restart a couple of times without knowing if my progress would even be saved. But nonetheless, the final result is fire. I'm not even trying to fucking joke around. Well, I am. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. This might probably be my favorite out of all the 4 animations I made. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, I'm gonna let past me finish yapping. So, all I have to do is follow the, sketch out where the fire lines will appear, so I know where to overlay them afterwards. You'll see how it will look later. And with that done, let's finish it off with an art time lapse. Despite the challenges, I do have to say that I really did have fun with these 4, especially for the final frame part, because I kind of had to get creative with how do I implement the effects, since in the previous episode, I kind of just, it barely had any effects on the final. For Captain America, it's the shockwave. Iron Man, it was the unibeam thing. For Spider-Man, it was the web, and that's about it. For Hulk, it's the lightning, and well, not really about it. For Hulk, it's the lightning. For Moon Knight, there's barely any actually, and yeah, they were pretty easy in terms of effects. For the animations themselves, I did have a challenge with, since the first 5 I picked specifically for the reason that they didn't have much going on. That now, Mr. Fantastic stretches, the Thing. Well, that's actually easier since he's just rocks. But for Invisible Woman and Johnny, Human Torch, they were the real challenges for this video. But I really did have fun, especially with Procreate. I used Procreate a lot for this video. I've been using it for like a couple months. I don't even draw. Well, I do draw, and I know that's a cliche thing to say. I mean, like, I don't draw. I'm not good at drawing. I can imitate, but I can't like draw, if you know what I mean. But doing this, I really did have fun. In the first episode, I had to like feel my way around the app, but now it's going pretty smoothly. I'm getting faster and faster than before. And now that I know what the general process is, it's much easier every single time. And for the next videos, I really hope that instead of spending like 4 hours each for the final frames, I can spend like 2 hours instead. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below who do you want to see next, and I don't have anything else to say. Here are the results. Did you guys think that was fantastic? I personally thought it was, on my biased opinion. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below who do you want me to animate MVP animations next. Special thanks to Lupiv 3D and Dang It Productions, huge fan by the way, thank you, for providing the 3D models and the funny poses you guys saw. And also thanks to my editor Sergij Teraz for editing this video. And also special thanks to my YouTube members, Glugper Animations, Metal Bricks, Spider, and Cold Collects. And that's about it for me. Subscribe. By the way, fun fact, I initially wanted to add Namor to this group, but I thought, it wouldn't be so fantastic to have Fantastic Four have 5 figures in the video, so he'll be in the next few. You know, that